Good morning. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to this English lesson where we're going to be looking at words that sound the same but have different spellings and different meanings. And once again, I feel like I need to apologize for the English language. We have so many things that are hard to learn, and one of those is the fact that we have words that we spell differently, but they sound the same when you pronounce them, but they have different meanings. And we'll get into that in just a bit. Let me double check. It looks like everything's working well. I just want to say hi to Mustafa, Jao, Misha, Bieta, Hector, Vinicius, Saba is here. So many of you in the chat. Some of you popped in early. Ravit or Ravid, and then Beryl Vision and Rachel and Gosia. Welcome again to this live stream. So yeah, today we're going to look at words that sound the same but have different meanings. Again, sorry about that. Also, before we start, don't forget there was a new video this past Tuesday. Check it out if you have time. And if you're new here and you like learning English on YouTube, click the subscribe button, and if everyone could give me a thumbs up, that'd be great. Hello, Elena. I always say your name wrong. I'm sorry. I want to shout out to Judith, who is out there somewhere, usually watches this later. Hello, Van and Jamal and Nahid. And there's a few names I can't pronounce. Hello to you as well, and hello to Fabio. So, but let's get started. Words that sound the same but mean different things. So we have here and here is our first set of words. So spelling is completely different, but the sound is exactly the same. So here means, like on this map it says you are here. So the location where you are in, you would refer to that as here. So I am here, you are there. But if you were to say where you were, you would say, I am here. I hope that wasn't too confusing. Morning, Tejman and Jamal and Shul. Thanks for jumping in. And then we have here, and you can see this person, you use your ear to hear. This person, here's another word for you. This person is wearing a hearing aid. So this is something you wear when you are starting to go deaf or when you are hard of hearing. You wear a hearing aid. So here, location, here, what you do when you are listening to, when you hear a sound. I hope I make good sense this morning. Give me a thumbs up if I make sense this morning. I'm in a really good mood, but I feel like I'm just a little bit tired. So, excuse me. Good morning, Wellington. How are you? The next one is accept and accept. Now, these are actually pronounced slightly different, but you can get away with saying them the same way. So accept, so if someone was to give me flowers, I would accept them. You can hear a little bit more of an A sound. And here we have all of these gummy bears are one color except this red one. But if you're a non-native English speaker and you say accept or accept, they sound almost identical and no one is going to know. But if you really want to know, it's kind of a accept, more of an ah sound, and accept. But honestly, if you're speaking quickly, no one's going to notice. So when you accept something, if someone was to give me a gift, I accept the gift. That means I take the gift. And accept means when one thing is a bit different than the other. So you could say all of the stores had lots of customers in them except the grocery store. So it's the one that doesn't have what the others have. So accept and accept. Can you hear the difference? Let me say it again. Accept. I'm really making it obvious now. And accept. Bye. Sorry, I'm not really saying bye, but buy and buy. So when you see this lady is waving goodbye. So when you say bye to someone, it's this word, bye. So this morning I said goodbye, or I said bye to my wife when I left the house. And then buy is when you purchase something. So here this person is buying an apple. So I noticed this lady's waving by, and she has the Eiffel Tower there. If we have anyone from France, tell me in the chat if you're from France. So we have the Eiffel Tower here. By the way, I've never been to France. Well, that's not true. I was at the airport once on my way to South Africa. But anyways, bye and bye sound exactly the same, and slightly different spelling. Hello, Elvin and Suritat have joined us. Yada and Pasan are here. Welcome. We are looking at, this morning, words with the same sounds and different meanings. So welcome to everybody. So here we have break and break. So again, spelled differently. These people are taking a break. And are you familiar with coffee break? Like a coffee break is when you work for a few hours and then you take a coffee break. So you pause your work in order to have a drink of coffee or to take a break. But break can also mean when something breaks, that means it falls apart. Like if you drop a glass on the floor, it will break. I don't know if you can see this. This is the best picture I could find on the internet, but you have a glass there that's broken because when you drop a cup or a glass, a lot of times it will break. But a brake is on this bicycle, it's the thing that stops the bike when you're going quickly. So a car has brakes and a bicycle, motorcycle have brakes. And when you hit the brakes, it makes you slow down. So brake and brake. Again, welcome to everybody. Hi, Wifan and Sato are here. Awesome. Jack's here. Hi, Jack. Welcome back again. We're looking at words that sound the same but mean different things. So I'm going to keep going here. First, apparently, I'm going to kick the camera, shake you guys up a bit. We have course and course. So this course is like a class. So you can take a class. In English, we say, oh, I'm taking an English class. But you can also say, I'm taking an English course. So you have a teacher up front here and students. So a course can mean a class. It has other meanings as well. I'm not going to describe all of them here, but a course can mean something like a class. This is what we call sandpaper. I don't know if any of you are woodworkers or work with wood, but sandpaper is very, very coarse or rough. It says an error occurred here. Let me just check what's going on. I think everything's still working. We'll find out in a moment. It looks like the stream is still going. It looks like everything is working fine. Maybe we'll just double check here. Yeah, maybe it's just my computer. Sorry, a little panic there. Can you let me know in the chat if it's working? Just say the stream or the video is still working. That'd be great. So sandpaper is very gritty. It's very coarse. It's very rough. So that's the opposite of smooth. So you use sandpaper to sand stuff down and make it smooth. So coarse, pronounced exactly the same way. Yes, Hassan. So that's correct. You take an English course with a course teacher. So your teacher's a little coarse. That is a way to describe something. And Gosia says everything is fine. So thanks, Gosia, for letting me know. We'll keep going here with the lesson. Hassan says in his tea break he hits the brakes. Yes, so it's always good to hit the brakes before you have a break. So that's a good one. I like that. And Vinicius says everything is working perfectly. That's great. Just on my screen, all of a sudden it said there was an error, and I was like, oh no. I don't have that with my normal classes where the students are just in the same room as me. So here we have peace and peace. So I'm not sure if you can see this. This is what we call a peace sign. So peace is when you have calm, Peace is the opposite of war. So there's war when people or countries are fighting, and then peace is when they have, an agreement to get along and to have good trade relations and to not fight or have war anymore. And peace is, here we have a piece of cake. So anytime you can have a smaller portion of something, so you can have a piece of pie, a piece of cake, a piece of pizza, then we call that a peace. So peace and peace mean they don't mean exactly the same thing. They sound the same, but they mean different things. Hello, Chinak. Hello, Giannis. Nikhil. Uu is here. Hi, Uu. Hello. Oh, thanks, Beata, for letting me know everything's okay. And Jamal, again, is saying hi. That's awesome. So, again, words that sound the same mean different things. So here we have stare and stare. So this person is staring. When you stare, it's like this. Don't freak out. So I was staring at you. That was a stare. So this person, a stare is when you look at someone intently. I hope I didn't scare you when I did my stare. I'm going to watch it on the replay later and see. This is a stare or stares. You can use stare in the singular or plural. We usually in English say stairs. So I go up the stairs. Oh yeah, I just saw my stare. That's pretty crazy. I look pretty mean. Sorry about that. Usually we use stairs with an S on the end, but you can go up a set of stairs. And you can say staircase, stairway. We have a lot of different words for stairs. And here we have raise and raise. So these people, in class sometimes I say to my students, raise your hand if you know the answer. Raise your hand. So these people are raising their hands. Rays are what come from the sun. So you can see the rays of the sun. So yes, often, I guess I can't ask you guys to raise your hand if you have a question, can I? It's too bad. That would be kind of cool. But raise, to raise your hand, rays are the, I guess, the beams of light that come from the sun. Sometimes people say, I'm going to go catch some rays. That means that they're going to go lay out in the sun. And then I wonder if the sunglass is called Ray-Ban, if the name is because you're trying to ban the rays of the sun. I'm not sure, but you might be familiar with that. This word was a tricky word, bear and bear. So these are, in English, if you don't have shoes or socks on, or sandals, we say that you have bare feet. So bare means to be without clothing. It can also extend past feet, but I'm not going to get into that. But you can have bare feet. If you have no clothes on at all, we call that bare naked. But bare means that you don't have clothes on that particular part of the body. A bear is this animal. I wouldn't want to run into a bear out in the woods, but the words sound exactly alike, bear and bear. Do you have bears in your country? Let me know in the chat if you have bears in your country. I think there are different kinds of bears all over the world. And I want to just say hi to John Lee. John Lee is a regular viewer, and Busacorn is here, and Dark Blue. I haven't seen you for a while, but Dark Blue, welcome. I'm pretty sure Dark Blue's in Germany. Sent me a postcard once, so that's awesome. As did many of the rest of you, so that's really good. But hi, Dark Blue. Welcome to the chat. Few more to go here, people. I'm not sure if I should speed up or slow down, but we have 8 and 8. This word is really hard for English learners to remember how to spell. But 8 is the past tense of to eat. So right now I eat my pizza. Yesterday I ate my pizza. So it's the past of that verb. And then 8 is just the number 8. So not sure why we need this many letters in order to say the number 8, but for some reason we do. So 8 and 8. Excuse me. Do and do. So do, I don't know if you can see this, but the paper's not cooperating, but there is a little bit of dew on these leaves. So dew is what we see on the grass and on the plants in the early morning. So in the summer, we often go outside early in the morning and there is dew on the leaves. If you are from a country where there's lots of humidity in the air, where there's lots of water in the air, you will often have dew in the morning. And then an interesting thing in Canada, in the winter, we have frost in the morning. Well, sorry, on late fall, early spring, we have frost. So, and then dew is when something needs to be back or needs to be handed in. So the best example would be library books have a due date. They are due back at the library, due on a certain date. When you take a class, oftentimes the teacher will give you an assignment and they'll say, this is due tomorrow, due. So that's the day. It kind of indicates when something needs to be handed in. So due and due. Oh, I think I knew there was bears in Germany, dark blue. Your country actually is very similar to Canada. I've seen some TV shows, a lot of the same trees, some of the same animals, so very, very cool. Hello, Nikhil and Nathan and Nihad. Nihad says he does not, Nihad says they don't have bears in their country, so that's probably good. Bears can be kind of frightening. I. So I is the subject of a sentence when I'm talking about myself. So I like to teach. I like to go to work. And then an I is just, this. The I is what I was using when I was staring at you. So I and I. This word, I know from some people giving me feedback, is a very interesting word for non-English speakers because it's just spelled so weird. E-Y-E spells I. So I and I. So here we have flower and flower. So we have a beautiful flower here. If some of you know this, but my wife and I grow flowers. We're very excited because it's April now. Things are starting to get warmer outside, and we can start to grow flowers again. So we grow flowers for market. We grow flowers, we harvest them, we make bouquets. So flower. And then flour is the white powder that's made from wheat and other grains. So this isn't the best picture, but you can see some flour here, and they've put an egg there because they're probably going to do some baking, make some bread, etc., etc. So flour and flower, pronounced exactly the same, but spelled differently, and different meanings. No bears in Brazil, says Beryl Wilson. And yes, you have two eyes, definitely, for sure. And Uu says that she loves beautiful flowers. Very cool. 4 and 4, so we simply have the number 4. And when I buy a card, it is for someone. 4 has a number of different meanings, obviously in English, but we have the number 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can keep going if you want. And we have a card here, and the card is for someone. You would have the same if you buy a gift. You buy a gift for someone, and sometimes you do something for someone. So it's just an indicator of who is getting the thing that you're giving. That was a bad description, sorry. Hour and hour. So words that start with H in English, I feel bad because sometimes you say the H and sometimes you don't. So in this case, the H is silent, so it's hour and hour. So obviously there's hours in the day and there's hours on the clock. And then hour here is a possessive, right? It indicates who owns something. So save our planet indicates that we own the planet, right? So you could say, where is our sun? that would mean that, well, you don't own your son, but it indicates possession of something. So our and our. I'm just trying to think, our. We sometimes pronounce our in English when we speak quickly. We say, like, our house, our. Yeah, we say it, it's kind of a harsh sound. We don't always say our. Like, it sometimes sounds like at our house, at our house. We say it both ways, by the way. Sorry about that. Am I apologizing too much? It's because I'm Canadian. Canadians tend to apologize too much. Good morning, Gila and Hassin. Ravit says no bears in Israel. And Hassan says that he puts flour in food to set on the table with flowers. That's a great sentence, Hassan. And hello, Lulu. Welcome to everybody. Night and night. So again, in this case, the K, the letter K is not pronounced. So a knight is from a long time ago when they had warriors who would dress up in a suit of armor, and they would have a sword and a shield and a helmet. So we have a knight here. And then this is just a dark picture of the sky because it's the nighttime, which is the opposite of day. So night and night. Mail and mail. So mail is what you get usually on a daily basis. In Canada, we get mail Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. The mail comes to our house or our post office box. So here you see some envelopes being put in through the mail slot. Some people have a mail slot on their door. Other people, like me, have a mail box. But we have the mail, and on the envelope you see that there are stamps. Here we have a male. So in the world we have people who are male and we have people who are female. So this is a man. So we would say that he is a male. These aren't his real arms. I think these are his real arms, just so you know. Meet and meet. So when someone new comes to your place, sometimes you have a chance to meet them. So that's when you are getting to know someone for the first time. You could say, oh, the other day it was fun because I was able to meet someone new. Or you could use meet to say, you know, the whole team is going to meet at a restaurant so that we can go over the plan. So meet is when you get together with people or when you first are introduced to someone. Meat is food that comes from an animal. So we have chicken meat, we have beef, which is meat from cows, we have lamb, we have pork, which is meat that comes from a pig. So meat is a protein source of food that comes from animals. I think I have quite a few to go. I need to be done in 5 minutes, but I think I can do it. Cell and cell. So this is a prison cell, and this person is selling things. So a prison cell is the small area that they would lock you in if you went to prison. So you can see here it's a small prison cell. I'm not sure how clear that is. And here we have a person, pretty sure this guy is selling fruits and vegetables. So when you sell something, well, when you buy something, you are buying it. The person who you are getting it from is selling it to you. So they are in the process of selling. So buy and sell. Pair and pair. So pair refers to any time there are two of something. So if you have, you know, I just picked up a pair of apples from the grocery store. I have a number of pairs of sunglasses. So that was a bad example. Here's a pair of zebras. Let me explain it that way. So we have two zebras, whereas a pear is a type of fruit. So it's a little bit different than an apple. It's not as popular in Canada as it used to be. In Canada, pears used to be very popular, a very popular kind of fruit. Let me know in the chat if you eat pears. I know for a lot of you, if you're from anywhere in Eastern Asia, you probably eat pears. There's a lot of pears grown out that way. Because I know in my grocery store I can buy, I think they're called Asian pears, but they look like apples. So right and right. So this is your right hand, right? I think this translates well in the video. This is your right hand, but this person is starting to write in their book. So right and right, pronounced the same, but look different and have different meanings. So right and right. By the way, the kinds of words we're looking at are called homophones. Homophones? Now, I don't know how to pronounce it right, but pears are the best. That's what Lost in SM says. Gloria says she has a pair of pears. I like that. That's a great sentence, Gloria. So John wants to know the difference between sell and sale. So in Canada, in English in Canada, when we say that you sell something, that means you're in the process, like you're making it available and people can buy it. Sale, you can say that something is on sale, which means you're charging less for it. You can have a sale, which means you're charging less for it. But you can also say that, we had a lot of sales, which is the number of things that you sold. John, I'm going to have to figure out a better way to describe that. I hope that helped a little bit. But sometimes I'm not good at explaining stuff. A lot of you say, Bob, you're really good at explaining stuff, but sometimes I'm not. We have son and son. So I think this boy is this lady's son, and then the sun in the sky. Do you remember what the beams of light coming from the sun are called? We just went over it a little while ago. They're called the rays of the sun. So we have a sun and we have the sun up in the sky. We have one, the number one, and one as in he won the race. You can see him running through here and he's happy because he... Yeah, thanks. Hey, there's another Bob, and he has just helped me. He says, sale is the noun, and sell is the verb. Thank you. I'm not really with it this morning. Do you know what that means, when you're not with it? One, the number one, and one as in he won the race. So, again, two words sound the same, mean different things. Oh, yeah, and Layla says that sale and sale. So we also have, there's another type of sale, right? This is where Bob draws, and everyone can make fun of my drawing. So if you have a boat, this is a sail. This we would call a sail boat. So yes, this is pronounced the same as sail. That's a good one. Thanks. Who was that again? Lila, right? Awesome. And Barrelson says Black Friday is a great sale. Yeah, it's a good sale. Hassan wants to know, what does it mean won? So won is when, if you have a race and you get first place, you won the race. If you play a game and at the end you have the most points, then you won the game. So it means to come in first place. Wait and wait. So these people are in a line. So they're waiting, okay? Sometimes you have to wait in a line. And weight is anything heavy we call a weight. But we also refer to it as, we also talk about it in terms of how much you weigh. So my weight is, what is my weight? 196 pounds? Yeah, we still use pounds and kilograms in Canada. I don't know what my weight is in kilograms. So you can wait in a line, or you can lift weights to get better muscles, bigger muscles. So weight and weight. Wear and wear. So this person is wearing a tie. They have decided to wear a suit. And where is the location you're at? So I just have the welcome to Canada sign, because where refers to, if you're asking a question about location, you always start with where. Like, where are you today? Why don't you guys tell me in the chat, where are you today? Just type the name of your country quick. That was the last pair of words, so I'm just going to scroll back through the chat to see if there's any questions. But if you want to, in the chat, just remind me again what country you're from, that would be great. You might have to look it up if you don't know the English word for your country. Al Mutari says, hey Bob, you are a wonderful teacher. Oh, that's very nice. Lost in SM says, I have a sailing boat, but I hate the boat, so they don't like the boat. And we could sell it and buy a horse. Yeah, you could sell your... Nihad says, I never weigh myself. I don't either, Nihad. I try really hard just to exercise, eat well, and feel good, but I don't like to step on the scale and weigh myself. So we've got people from Germany, people from Taiwan, Poland, Iran, China, Brazil, awesome people. India, very, very cool. Lulu wants to know, what does redundancy mean? Redundancy means when you have more than one of something or someone, and then you don't. So in a place of employment, if you have two people doing the same job, one person can be redundant. You could have a redundancy, and then you fire the one person because you don't need them anymore. It's a pretty challenging word. I would recommend looking it up for a sec. Just scrolling back here, I think I kept up. A lot of people giving example sentences. That's awesome. Very cool. And you guys are talking to each other in the chat. That's awesome as well. Tejman says, thank you, Bob. You're amazing. Thanks, Tejman. People from Iran, Vietnam. Done and down. Yeah, that's a tricky one too. So when you're finished something, you're done. When you are upstairs and you want to go downstairs, you go down. So a little bit of a different pronunciation there. Done, done, and down. So done, you can see my mouth just stays open. Done, done, and then down. My mouth makes an O sound. Done, you end with your tongue at the top of your mouth. So done, and then down. Those are the two. Bangkok, Thailand, cool. Thanks for the session from Dark Blue. Yeah, hey, and Azerbaijan, very cool. Nikhil says, Bob, you're awesome. Thanks. I'm going to wrap this up, people. I'm going to, I think, end it here. Thanks again for coming to watch. I hope that you have a great weekend. I know a lot of you listen to this just at the end of your workday, or you're out, about to go out for the evening. Or maybe you're just going to relax tonight. We have Tajikistan from Hirt, very cool. But thanks for watching. I hope this is helpful. I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to go over and I'm going to click the button that stops the live stream. And thanks again for watching. Don't forget to